Hello, everybody, and welcome to City Dwarves episode 9. How are we all doing today? My favorite players in the whole wide world.
Oh my god.
Ooh, great, because
I really want to believe it.
You should.
Believe it.
Why wouldn't you?
I live with that truth.
I've been playing with 2 of the 3 of you for a very long time.
It's true. You would have kicked us out if you... We're definitely up there. I believe that.
And how could you not like Rachel? I mean, top-notch role-playing. Seriously.
She's awesome. I agree. She, fit right into our group. It felt like she's been there since the start.
Because the group had Rachel on one side and me on the other side, and Rachel and I hadn't just met yet. And then really there's one extended group where the corners hadn't reached around yet.
Now I'm the Yugi to your the Joey to your Yugi, the Tristan to your the fourth person in that group. We gotta
yeah, I'm the horse person.
Red Dragon, Neal.
Yeah, that's a great
This friendship's going great, everybody.
This friendship is really taking off.
But
so glad to be a horse now.
I want to share the thing about the popcorn though, because that's really important. So last session, Anna had popcorn, and today Rachel has popcorn, which led to a big discussion about popcorn. And apparently Anna's a popcorn aficionado and has gourmet popcorn love and stuff like that, and it's super important. And I was like, wow, tell me more. And Anna's so put together all the time. I'm not surprised about that. And then on the other side you have Rachel. And I'm like you, but it was even worse. I didn't have any.
Popcorn doesn't expire.
But that's me too. I identify with that character.
Look,
I've eaten 1-year-old expired popcorn. I just want to put it out there. 1-year-old expired. It doesn't matter.
The microwave kills anything.
Some of them didn't pop. Whatever.
It can't go bad. It's trapped in a tight kernel and compressed.
Exactly.
And then it explodes at high temperatures.
I feel like when they're expired, they just don't pop. And that's that's them telling me, Jen, I'm too old. And I'm like, okay.
Just to show that I gave this the full thought, I do believe the expiration might be for the movie theater butter flavoring atop it, which could go rancid, but that I want to assure you, in this case, has not. This is as fresh as the day Orville Redenbacher laid these kernels. And...
I've done the same though, really, really old buttered flavored popcorn. I was like, man, it's probably for the butter. And I was like, let's see.
I am really glad that you think that I have my life together, but I do want to point out that hyperfixation on extremely specific food preferences does not mean I have my life together. It means maybe I need this, you know?
You need you know what you need, Anna? A year-old popcorn.
Maybe you're
expired.
Right. Maybe
but with butter at the very least, just to make sure there's something a bit off about it.
just tuck one away, Anna, and next year around this time, be like, yes, the reckoning.
You can eat it live on stream. We'll be there.
Okay. Oh, speaking of that,
on episode 12.
Speaking of coming back to food after an episode, I definitely marked that sloshing egg with a Sharpie. And I said, husband, this egg is marked with a Sharpie because it's for science. And I need to know if the yolk is broken. So here, look, Sharpie marked egg. And he was like, yeah.
Did you try it?
Got it.
What happened?
And then I came down and I was like, where are all the eggs? And he was like, I used them. I made you the dinner. And I was like, what about the Sharpie egg? He's like, there was Sharpie on one? And I was like, but he said specifically that he did not notice any broken yolks in the eggs.
Oh, I think he would have noticed it. I
think so too, because he was trying not to break them at first. So I think I feel fairly certain that the yolk did not break in that experiment.
What were those ropes, Jen, holding it in place?
Yes, the little ropes. It's the little egg ropies.
It's gone, guys. We learned a fact.
It's the white. It's like the little white thing that looks like the egg white when it looks like it's cooked. But when it's uncooked, you have the
villain to the wall. Those things, right?
That thing.
Phalanges.
Yeah.
That's not it.
I forgot the name though. It's not telling.
A pseudo-filament?
I'm going back. Egg.
I'm just gonna put
how
popcorn
would
in
you,
here.
like,
It's better.
egg parts description. Okay, I'm back. Let's see. How was it called?
I'm really jealous of that popcorn, Rachel.
Oh yeah.
No. It's
the
age to
chalazza.
perfection.
Chiladza?
Yeah, the chalazza.
That feels like a different word than last time.
It does. I've never heard that word before for
It's a
sure.
new word.
Oh, another one says
This is a D&D show.
I said the chalazza as well. What's going on?
Yeah.
Chalazza.
Someone in my chat's asking who else had a shaken egg. Didn't one of you also have a
Neal shook an egg.
I shook an egg.
And he had popcorn. Neal, you're the unsung food guy.
Well, I put it in with the rest of the eggs, and I didn't even tell my wife where. And then we went and we bought new eggs, and they all got mixed up, and it just I never even tried.
But you didn't notice any broken yolks.
No, because I intentionally break all of my yolks because I like my eggs over hard or scrambled. But she could have had eggs without my presence.
Crap, we failed you.
In secret. She could have had secret eggs.
Well, we get up at like vastly different hours. I know. She'll get up and bring me coffee and make her own breakfast.
I just like the idea of her like creeping in.
Just like 2 a.m. egg, just like.
I found it, by the way. It was very close. It was not chalazza, it was chalazzae. And that's why you didn't recognize it. There was the E at the end that changed everything.
How is it?
I thought it was like starting with the letter I or something. I was
No, it's like chalazzae. It's really weird. And there's a vitelline membrane, which is like the exterior of the yellow. Making sure we remember that.
Good to know. I'm glad that we had this conversation.
Yeah, I mean, there is like continuity throughout our campaign games.
I was thinking to myself this week about how much I enjoy this game because I learn really random stuff. Like, I never in my life would have been like, I wonder what happens to an egg yolk if you shake an egg really hard. And now I know, I've done it. I know the answer.
I love talking about this campaign. Like when my colleagues are like, "Oh, you're playing D&D." I'm like, "Yeah, on stream. Yeah. It's been like 10 years with my like friends. Yeah, no biggie." I'm like low-key super proud / a little like, "Yeah, I'm a big nerd." I know. And then they're like, "Oh, what's the campaign about?" And I'm like, "We're cobblers, like, you know, shoes." And they're like, "What?" And then they're like, and like, what's the campaign about? I'm like, "Oh, well, we had some debt, and then like we adopted some cats. Well, it's not really cats, it's like lynx, but it's because like whatever." And yeah, we're like branding our store, like making shoes. And then they're like, "But like, what's the?
Who are you
What
fighting?
People don't realize everything this game can be.
You're like, "What are you fighting?" I'm like, you know, it's like good vibes, and like maybe we're fighting depression. I don't know. Like last episode, there was a lot of emotional challenges, but like we're fine.
Well, this is actually a great segue into what did we do last week, which is the setup for this week, unless Anna has something.
I just wanted to say, I feel like our show is the new girl of D&D. Like, it's like the sitcom that has like some depth and emotion, but like you tune in because it's like gonna be low stakes and fun, and you feel safe, and you love the characters.
Yeah, much like the new girl. I know Hannah Simone, and I have no idea what's going on in this show.
Yeah. Yeah, so we're sitcom D&D. That's what we are. Continue, Neal.
No, what happened?
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Well, we met some long lost relatives. Well, not really long lost. We hadn't, like, I personally, Anna had not met them, but Lazuli did know them. And that was because at the beginning of the game, we decided that we needed a safe. And so we decided that we were going to have a safe built. And then we were like, yo, we have some relatives that build stuff and let's have them build it. So we went, and then we were like, we need a gift for them. So let's design a designer purse for rock dwarves that holds rocks, which makes sense. So we made the Boldara's boulder holder with multiple different designs Her favorite one being one that has 3 places for boulder holding.
Mm-hmm.
And we also helped them create a paver of sorts for dropping gravel to make a road. And they built us a safe.
That's nice. Boldara, what did you put in your boulder holder?
Well, GM Neal, in my boulder holder, I put 3 boulders. 3 boulders of even sizing and shaping, with little hexagonal faces in the facets of the outer boulder, I believe. Egg-shaped, but as our egg-shaking IRL test determined, perhaps the boulders themselves not eggs, or dormant eggs. But yeah, either way, we brought those home and we stored them safely in our safe, and I think Pebble and I take turns looking at them.
That's right, Pebble, you struck a deal at the end of the last session for partial custody of one of the rocks.
Yes.
I think it was Monday through Wednesday. You get one of them.
Yeah, something like that. I'm trying to find my note.
But for what purpose?
Oh yeah, I have it. 1 red rock Monday to Wednesday for Pebble.
Yeah, but what are you doing?
In exchange for it, I have to make sure that Bethany isn't with Francesca.
Wait a minute. Who's Bethany?
Who's Bethany?
Yeah, Rachel. Who's Bethany?
Well, Rachel can tell you quite logically and without emotion that Bethany is a character that my character, Boldara, has a long romantic history with. Bethany, an ethereal creature who has stolen the heart of Boldara and has since found herself wed and hidden away by one Francesca.
And Anna, who is Francesca?
The evil witch who stole Bethany, and we think has her in thrall under some kind of magic charm, because how could she possibly want to be with Francesca instead of Boldara? And she's also the head of the stupid cobbler guild or whatever it is that we're not invited to, so it sucks.
Yeah, we really hate her. She's like our arch nemesis.
Yeah.
Big time.
And what were you going to do about it, Pebble?
I don't know yet. I just wanted custody of one of the rocks for some reason. Boldara seemed so suited.
You promised
by
the
them.
moon and the stars, but you don't have a plan.
I'll figure it out. Pebble's smart. She knows that she's not cool, but she knows she can come up with a plan.
All right.
Yeah. Oh, also, as a Pebble representative, I'd like to remind everyone we did do. Oh my God, this is so one character. We have the Boldara boulder holder, but we also came up with the Pebble pusher. Excuse me.
Right. That was.
And we don't mention that.
Sorry, yeah.
What?
Forgot. Sorry, Peb.
Oh my God. Even in real life. Oh, Pebble. I couldn't remember the name either. I had to look it up. I was like, what's the name of the thing about Pebble? There was a Pebble tool thing we invented.
Anna Arlene in my chat remembered. Anna was like, hey, remember it's the Pebble pusher named after Pebble.
Yeah. And you guys didn't even realize it was about Pebble until after it was named the Pebble pusher. And you're like, oh yeah, that was totally for you.
Excellent.
God damn.
Right. So where
right.
last we left our party, you had just had a conversation, established proper custody of the 3 ordinary but very pretty rocks. And we're about to go maybe look into this Boldara Francesca thing.
Yeah.
Is that still what we want to do, or has the week of intervening time changed our hearts and minds and we want to get into something else?
Now we want to be race car drivers.
You know? Dwarves might be capricious characters at the dawn of time.
With the links, it's going to be awesome.
Mm-hmm. We're going to invent race cars, and then we're going to drive them.
Precisely.
No, we're going to solve the Bethany. Let's get Boldara back with Bethany, or at least not with Francesca. I didn't sign up for them to get back together, because that sounded like a really big step, but just breaking up Bethany and Francesca is reasonable.
As Boldara would be ready if she was ready.
Yeah, the Bethany nonsense has gone on long enough. It's time for her.
It's time to solve it.
Yeah.
Okay. Also, maybe we can get in the guild after.
Or take over the guild.
or take over the guild. Because like once Francesca's exposed with her evil witch tricks, who knows what will happen to the guild? Maybe it's gonna be in shambles. We're gonna be the guild
Maybe they'll be
rulers.
like, "Wow, thank you for exposing our corrupt leader. You instead should be our leader."
Yes.
As you are beyond reproach.
Yes. And then we can totally give bad press to, what was it? Sister Helen of like Heavenly Sandals Guild thing. Like, she's horrible.
Yeah, she's
Temple of Shoe. Oh my god. I didn't even need to look at my notes. I remember it's Sisters Helen dumb Temple of Shoe. She's the worst too. She's like her second enemy.
Nemesis.
Yeah. All right.
Okay. All right. Pebble, the smallest of the cobble feats. It's up to you.
Yeah. So reading through, remembering my thoughts. Remembering my thoughts. We found out that a message was left in our absence with Pretoni about Bethany. Right. The first message was that there was a big fight between Bethany and Francesca, and Bethany had broken the beverage holder decanter thing, and Francesca was raging. And then on the second message, Bethany came back and was like, "Oh, sorry, all good. Don't talk to me ever again. Love, Francesca." She didn't say love, Francesca. I added that. So the suspicion is that there's something off with either like the beverage that's being given, maybe the beverage holder decanter thing, maybe the ritual of nightcaps, because there seemed to be a strange obsession with that with Francesca. So we need to investigate. I believe I need an investigation hat, actually. I don't think I can start without one. So I think we need to ask Pretoni to help craft an investigation hat.
Like a Sherlock Holmes hat?
Yeah. They don't exist yet.
We invented that too.
Yeah.
It has to have like, little flaps for helping with your peripheral vision.
Yes.
The scoopage.
Yep.
Yeah. So I think I should brief Pretoni that we need to try to invent an inspector hat. But I'll still start investigating without it, but I feel like I'm gonna need it at some point.
Sherlock Holmes' hat has flaps, Neal.
Yeah, it has one in the front and the back, but not on the sides. It's not blinders.
Well, ours were like that.
Yeah, theirs are inferior.
Okay.
Ours
okay. Nope.
I mean, that it helps hide my identity too at times. If I get caught, like now do you see me? Now you don't. It's good. All right. So I think that the first step should be to go spy on them. And I think that I am qualified to spy on them because everybody always forgets I exist. Yes. I have high stealth and low memorability. So I'm going to share that plan with my sisters and tell them that I think that we should find a way to surround the house so that like one of us can like try to see through the window while one of us is like from the back in case something happens, and I'm going to try to like peek at the window from really close or maybe even get into the house, which is really creepy, but it's okay.
I will guard the back.
And yeah, it makes sense, right? Poldara, that should be like at the front. Like it sounds like your regular behavior.
So we're like the three of us as sisters are kind of like walking down the street. I think to go knock on the door to like just courtesy call, check how Bethany's doing, answer the message, maybe take a peek, see what Francesca's up to, and then you two fucking solid snake peel off left and right to the front and back doors to start. And
I tell you, Boldara, just stay there, wait for us, and if you hear me scream, I think you can come. Just keep an eye out.
It says it's 6 p.m. What do you like? There's other people on the street. Like, is it late at night? Like, are there people
It's
around?
6 p.m. Yeah, there's people around.
It's 6 p.m.
Prime...
There's people on the street.
It'll be fine.
I mean, like, I guess, like, as you guys peel away, Boldar's just gonna go up and like knock on the front door.
Oh
like,
God. I'm gonna start making my way like to the sides of. Is it the house?
Yeah, well, their house, their new house. That
Wait, they live
recently...
together. I forgot.
This
Yeah,
is where I
they're
dropped the
married.
silverware off, right?
Yeah, because they've after they got married, they moved in to a nice new house together, a nice new estate that Francesca was able to purchase with all of those membership dues from the Cobblers Guild. Mm-hmm.
That doesn't sound corrupt at all.
And
this porch is totally level, and that's a great color to paint your outside blinds.
It's new. Everything is perfect and in pristine condition. The columns, the marble columns out front that sort of brace the porch are immaculate with just like the right amounts of like black streaking down the gray and white.
Like a tacky amount of black streaking in the marble.
Seems pretty tacky to me.
Like very tacky, I have to say.
I just saw Pan.
Oh,
Make a wish.
We're gonna hold on. You're gonna like this. He's wearing a Halloween collar. If we can get him to look upward. Buddy.
Look at that guy. He's so big.
Look up. Oh, no, he doesn't like it. He doesn't like it, but he's wearing this. Can we turn it? There we go.
Little pumpkin.
Oh, he hates it. Oh, he hates it, but he's got a Halloween collar on.
Pan, you are tolerating.
Forbearance. He's just like, I will tolerate you, human.
I like
You did
him.
enjoy that. You were right.
Buddy, he's like, gotta get clean now.
That was great. I
Okay.
haven't seen Pan in a long time. Sorry to disrupt.
Yeah, it's
No,
been a while.
it's a legitimate disruption. I mean, that's what happens when the cats come in the room, right?
The best.
Right, you were talking about the beautiful marbling on the house with the new columns that sort of give you the grandiose entryway, especially for a dwarf. You know, the doors are already like 6.5, maybe 7 feet tall, and you're only 3 something or other. So
Every door is impressive to me.
Are they both dwarves? Just want to make sure.
Oh, Bethany and Francesca, no, they're humans.
Whoa.
Okay,
Yeah.
just making sure, because if they were dwarves, I was like, wow, that's like super arrogant to get like super tall doors.
No.
I'll tell you what's not nice. The underside of this doorknob, they could clean this more. It's honestly kind of gross.
Putrid, really.
In
You do better.
a multiracial, multicultural city like this first city, usually there are accommodations made for the large size people and the small size people. Like your shop, for instance, as you can see on the overlays, has a counter for tall people to stand at and a counter for short people to stand at.
True.
When you've got a staircase, you've got a staircase heighted for tall people and a staircase with slightly smaller stairs for shorter people, right? It's how the world works around here. But not this house. This house has nice tall steps leading up to the porch, like taller than you would normally have for a tall person. Tall enough that for a dwarf, it's like, you got to bring your knee to a 90-degree angle to stand.
These are
move up
hate
to the
crime
next
tall
area.
steps, you're telling me?
Hate crime might be a strong term, but it's
These
definitely
are not
dwarf
ADA
deterrent.
compliant steps. That's bullshit.
Yeah. The ADA has not been passed.
American dwarf accommodation.
Man, like I can't even do it with like my knees in a 90-degree angle. I have to like hoist myself up there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But Buldar, wasn't she like a tall dwarf? I feel like Buldar is a tall dwarf.
I'm pretty tall for a dwarf.
Yeah, for a dwarf. Yeah.
It's a lot of like pulling myself.
Mm-hmm. You probably don't like oak for doors or what do you call them, shutters. That's probably not like a great wood. And the teak railing in between the columns is kind of tacky. and that like burnished bronze for the chairs out front, the rocking chairs that you can sit in. And
It'll be green in a month.
Tulips and roses, like those are crap flowers to put in the windowsills and the flower pots.
They don't even go together. One's got like no petals, one's got like 1,000 petals. Get a primrose in that bitch.
Seriously, yeah. And the doormat in front of the door, like, who really needs a one of those like nice rugged mats that says like "Welcome to our home" with a black heart in the middle and two faces looking towards each other longingly. It's just like it's over the top.
I clean my boot specifically on the face that I think looks more like Francesca. And then I bend down and I brush a pebble off what I think is Bethany's.
Aww.
Right. Well, here you are at the mansion, the estate. Your sisters peeled off. One to go around back to watch the back, you said? And the other one, I've already forgotten what you're doing, Pebble.
I was trying to look at if I was trying to spy through the windows, but like seeing if I could find an easy entry. Like, is there a window that's like half open that I could like get in? Is there like, I don't know, a weird vent that I can crawl into?
Well, you're gonna have some nice. We got some good things and some bad things. All right. The good news is that on the side of the house, there's a cellar that just heads down into the basement. Real easy. I mean, the door is shut down there, but there's a staircase and a door that is probably completely unguarded that would go into the pantry and the cellar and all that jazz. The bad news is that we had talked about those like large steps that you get up to get to the porch. Well, that actually means that the base floor, the ground floor of the house is like 3 feet off the ground. And so with that 3 feet and then the height until the base of the windows, like you can't get to any windows that would be at ground floor, let alone look in through them. But there is that cellar door. Yeah.
And what I'm thinking is like, if you have enough confidence, because I know people are walking around, but if I know what I'm doing, nobody's gonna judge me. So I'm just gonna like go for the door and open it with like zero hesitation. I'm not even looking behind me. I'm like, this is my cellar.
I would argue also that it has been proven that Pebble is not noticeable.
Yeah, people
so
won't
probably has advantage on that.
Yeah, they don't care. Okay. I don't think people care.
Make me a stealth check, Pebble. And while you're doing that, we're going to talk about Lazuli for just a moment. You walk around to the back of the estate, and you'll notice that the back has like a little bit of a fence around it with some new plants that are grown in, like some vines that are eventually going to grow up and cover the fence to make it to block line of sight. But for now, like they're new, and so they haven't really grown up very high. And they do look like they have thorns, but like, as I said, they're not very well ingrown. And so the fence has just kind of got these like big slats. And there's a little back gate on the fence as well. Looks like the gate is maybe locked, but also 10's pretty good there, Jen. The slats on the fence of like the cast iron fence is pretty far apart, and you're not a very large person. And maybe if those vines with thorns had grown up in between, you would actually be impeded. But for the time being, a person of your stature could just turn sideways and like flip into the garden.
How big is the garden?
Let's see, it's about 50 feet deep and about 100 feet wide. Yeah, the house is about 100 feet wide too. So it kind of just extends out the back of the house.
First, I look and see if there's anyone in the garden.
No, not at this hour. You can see another pair of rocking chairs out here. These ones are wooden, and you can see a hammock slung between two trees, and a fountain that is the rest of the house they've moved into. Looks like the fountain is still maybe like a little under work.
I understood from Pebble that my job was just to kind of make sure that the back of the house was covered.
Follow your heart. Do whatever.
I'm gonna lay in the hammock for a little while.
Nice.
Just like observe the goings on, listen and stuff.
Cool. All right. So Pebble, you get to the door. You go to open it. we're going to resolve that as soon as we find out what happens at the front of the house, because Boldara...
I have one question though. Like, do I have line of sight to Lazuli, or are we like to? Okay.
Yeah, because you're
like on the side.
You're on one side. Boldar's in the front.
Yeah.
Lazuli's in the back, and you're also like down some stairs.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, Boldara. You give a nice, loud, confident knock.
Well, yes, on the first two, and on the third, I'm choked by a full body sob, and so you just kind of get this wet slap of my whole like thick forearm on the door, and then like dragging down the wood, and then I'm just kind of leaning my head on it, questioning why I'm there, if this is the right course of action, but ultimately rendered immobile by the love that draws me towards Bethany and my concern for her.
Your love for Bethany is inspiring.
I love this lady.
Moments feel like eons before you hear the sound of footsteps coming towards the door. First, it's, clearly, shoes on hardwood floor, and then they soften as they reach some sort of carpet before the door.
Are they Bethany's footsteps? I would know them.
Yeah, you would, for sure.
Oh my God.
Give me an insight check.
Yes, sir. Do I roll that? Little insight check, risky. I refuse to put my glasses on, so I'm wagering that's it.
That's it. Can't really tell. You would know if it wasn't like behind a door and then with the different textures, or maybe it's just because your heart's racing.
It's been too long since I've heard them.
It's actually been a while, hasn't it? Yeah.
Oh, that's so sad.
Anyway, footsteps end at the door. The doorknob begins to turn, and then there's like a muffled sound from within, and the doorknob releases, and you can hear not the words, but distinct voices on the inside saying something. Do you do anything, or do you wait for it to stop?
Can I hear them?
It's just,
So when I heard the footsteps, my head was already on the door, but I'm pressing my whole oral situation over here, so with the A, to the door.
Owl.
I'm hearing no words.
Well, give me a perception check at disadvantage. Let's see if you can make out any words. No, not with the 5. It's just muffle.
Great Charlie Brown. So what happened? They were about to open the door, and now there's a conversation.
Yeah, like
happening?
the doorknob began to turn, and then like released as this talking is happening on the inside. And maybe it'll end, and someone will open the door, or maybe not. I just want to know how you're reacting to this spot.
Well, patiently, graciously, and as my opportunity to kind of straighten myself up, not be leaning and sweating on the door when it opens. So I'm gonna kind of dust myself off, straighten out my beard. Yeah, just get ready to like talk to Bethany.
Yeah, that's when you hear the muffled steps, followed by the loud steps of boots or shoes of some kind on hardwood floor.
Ignore the Pikachu.
And someone recedes from the door without opening it.
But the boots, they're coming towards me?
They were coming towards you. They got to the carpet in front of the door. They were opening the door, and then there was a conversation, and the doorknob stopped, and then the boots receded from the door.
Was this a door with a window in it? Like a glass, a fancy pane?
To the right and to the left, there are some large windows that look inside.
Can I see inside?
Well, it's dark. Well, we said it's 6? What season is it? Is it dark outside yet? Is it light outside?
It's the beginning of the world. It can be whatever time, whatever light you want.
Well, tell me, Boldara, what is the lighting outside like?
coming in slanted shafts between the houses at 6. It's early autumn. The sun, low. The light yellow. But here in the shadows, I see deeper into the shadows through the panes of glass. Into the darkness of their house. Why do they keep it so dark? Bethany is beautiful. She's a creature of the light, and she deserves to live in it always. The fuck's going on in there, dude?
In that case, what you see is some sort of distinguished elder matronly servant lady holding a candelabra with 5 lit candles on it, walking away from the door through a hallway, or like you're seeing her like walk past a doorway, down a hallway into the deeper parts of the house. The room that you're actually looking into here must be aside from the door, but not, in the same room as the door. It looks like an extremely cozy parlor. With like a couple of comfortable sitting chairs, a little table in between, but then you can see on one side, it's just like a giant shoe rack, and there's works. And maybe these are Francesca's works, maybe these are works of other cobblers, but you can see that this is like, either like a showroom or like a personal library of all sorts of different things. I should be able to name at least 5 different types of shoes that you might see here.
What are you gonna wait?
I believe in you, Neal, and now I really want to hear it.
There are pumps, right?
Oh.
Great ones. You got some really nice sandals. You got some loafers. You got slippers. You've got
easy one.
You got boots, right?
Nice.
Boots.
Yeah.
Boots are everywhere.
Made for walking.
Definitely. Is that 5? There's a lot of there's
that was 5.
Okay. Yeah, there's a
You did it.
a menagerie of footwear.
A cornucopia. A cobblercopia.
Myriad footwear. Let's see. And there, this elder matriarch who is stomping in her boots down the hallway away from me, and toward this room, magically full of shoes. Is she alone?
She does seem to be by herself. Yes. She's wearing an evening gown, as if like, she's going about her duties. She definitely looks like some sort of servant. She's dressed like someone who would attend a fancy family.
So the person who stepped lightly was not being dragged along with her, forced ahead of her? They've disappeared from sight?
Yeah, someone must have called this person off from the door, but remains not seen to you.
Can I try the door handle? Is it open?
Nice.
Well, you go for the door handle, and we're going to go resolve the other door handle attempt down in the cellar.
Ooh.
The door is unlocked.
I love that we're just like, hey, this girl sucks. Let's break into her house.
No, we think Bethany's in danger.
Yeah, we're saving someone.
This is righteous B&E.
I do completely believe in our chosen course of action. It's just really funny.
Yeah, we're just gonna break into a house. It's all right. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. Like I said, non-violent game. Like breaking into a house, might be morally wrong or straight up illegal, but I wouldn't call it violent.
Right.
It's a non-violent. Yeah, it's a non-violent intervention. Anyway, we're gonna go save someone. All right. So, yeah, I entered the cellar and closed the door behind me.
Yeah, well, you open the door and you're immediately hit with light. Someone is down here holding light, and you hear a voice calling from deeper within the cellar. You can see that there's like lots of shelves. Most of them are pretty empty right now. There's some sacks, there are some barrels, there's like a couple of hats hung up nearby. But you can hear a voice saying, "Cornflower, is that you? We've been waiting on those deliveries all day. Hurry up." Cornflower?
Yeah?
Well, did you bring it all?
I forgot.
What? Then what did you do? Oh my God! By the 7 hells! You need to go back and get all the sacks of the cornmeal. What do you think? Cornbread just bakes itself? No. When we need the fresh cornbread for tomorrow morning. I don't care if it takes you all night. Go back and get me the cornmeal. What are you even doing here, Cornflower?
I'll go get it.
By the gods!
I exit and I'm gonna go get Lazuli. I'm gonna tell her we need corn flour. It's really pressing.
Fine. I don't even question at this point. I like roll out of the hammock like I was just chilling in my backyard. Fine. And I go wherever there's corn flour.
We're gonna go buy corn flour.
It's late. The markets are gonna be closed at this hour. Right?
You don't think there's any way we can buy any? Do we have some at home?
Roll me a d20, Anna. Do you have cornmeal at home? I pick Anna to make it a hard check.
Yeah, you
without
did.
having to adjust the skill.
Yeah, you knew you were doing.
Wait, do we have inspiration? Because it sounds really important.
There's no cornmeal in your house.
Do we know anybody who might have cornmeal? What about like?
I mean, you'd have to go around knocking on your neighbors' doors. I mean, what do your neighbors have in their pantry right now, Jen? Who's got cornmeal in your house?
Wait, there's a bakery next door. Wasn't there a bakery next door? They did everything but cookies.
But listen. We carve lasts in our shop. Yeah. And fine sawdust really does look a lot like corn flour.
I love where you're going. Okay, good enough. Let's do that.
All right, the two of you
I'm way
run
more
home.
into this plan now.
I can't believe you invented modern gas station snacks. They used to be good.
Fill a bag with sawdust, and you can be back here in maybe 20 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, something like that.
Yeah.
Are you both gonna go?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, someone needs to be here to watch Buldara. You stay here, Pebble. I'll go get the corn flour.
Okay.
Corn flour.
All right. You run back. Buldara. You go to try the door. And yeah, it's unlocked. If the person on the inside was turning and the handle was turning, that means it's not locked. So you go to open it, and it turns easily.
Excellent.
Do you open it all the way? Or is this just I'm testing the handle, or is this I'm walking in?
Yeah. Well, Buldara has one of those like wah, flash memories of all the time that she's unquestionably entered a space and how successful it's been. And the common factor there was drunken hubris. And so she kind of summons, that like swagger and confidence of like, well, door's open. Just gonna see how far I can get on my very honorable cause and mission, this noble vigilante B&E. So inward, Buldara goes, wipes her feet on the internal mat as well, hangs a hat should she be wearing one, and her boulder holder up like on the hat rack as if she's a guest. And then she's gonna proceed into the house in towards any room that is not the one that the mage-friendly lady went to alone.
Well, yeah, so in this atrium, you've got a door to your right, which would lead into the showroom, or maybe it's a dressing room, or maybe it's just a shoe room, whatever it is, in the room that you saw that had the shoes. There's another doorway to your left. The door is sort of half open. Can't really see in at the moment. There's no lights on in that area. There's no candles lit in that area. Before you is a hallway that like heads back into the house, and it starts off pretty wide, but there's like a staircase that takes half of it that runs up to the next floor, and so then it gets a little bit smaller on the other side, and it has, from what you can see, a couple of doors leading off the back of it and a door at the very end of it, but they're all shut. And there's a big, nice, comfortable rug in front of you. There's a little rack next to you for people to set their shoes on. There's a little coat rack over there as well. I mean, it's kind of high for you. And there's a call it when you've got like candles that a chandelier. There's a chandelier with candles on it with, has a rope that goes to the top and then comes down to like a big old twisty tie thingy where you would tie the rope so that you can like lower the candelabra, the chandelier, to light the candles and like hoist it back up again.
Noted for future violence. Quick question. Was Pebble close enough behind me that if I were to hold the door open, that she would be able to feel welcomed into joining me?
She had schleifened her way around the side, so maybe if she saw.
Did you see?
Did you sleep in fast enough?
I could join you.
I hold the door open, just one of those like leaving the coffee shop kind of things, like take it or leave it.
I guess I'll enter.
Oh, well, Dara's here by herself for now. You can come back in a moment.
Okay.
But for now, when you're alone, Boldara, what is the plan?
I turn back and I look for the shoes by the door. I would recognize Bethany's shoes anywhere, and I want to know if she's in and what she's wearing and if she's comfortable, and perhaps if the click of the heels was from her.
Yes.
Even though she doesn't.
You can tell the difference between Bethany's and Francesca's shoes because one set of shoes are I don't know what the right word for this is.
Her fucking cloven hooves. Those would be
Ugly.
Francesca's.
I was gonna say one is, a little bit wider than the others, and a little bit, it's wider and a little bit shorter than the others. And that's Francesca's, the short, wide ones.
And Bethany has a long, slender foot, and she's actually flat-footed, but she's got this beautiful arrangement of her toes, like kind of squared off. Fits a ballet slipper like a dream.
Yeah, actually, that's why they're called ballet slippers. It's after Bethany, her nickname later in life. Yeah.
It's interesting, which we'll go on to claim the title of a shoe.
Maybe someone names a new type of shoe after her.
Are the floors clean, Neal?
Spotless. Someone must have just mopped them today.
Did I hear the creak of stairs in the retreating footsteps of the gentle-footed angel who approached the door?
No, you did not hear the creak of stairs. Now, that might be because it's a brand new house and the stairs aren't creaky, or maybe she steps with such grace that she wouldn't dare creak, the stairs would not dare creak under her presence, or maybe she was just on the ground floor.
No, my girl bounces when she walks up the stairs. Can I check the ground floor rooms for the ledger?
Yeah.
Just making random shit up. You gotta deal with that, sorry.
You step into the right side. You saw it from the outside, but now on the inside, you can see that this is definitely, it's not a showroom. This is definitely like a personal collection because the right side of the wall has all of these like short, wide shoes, and the left side has these, perfect angelic shoes. So this is definitely like a personal collection in here. There's another door that leads out the back. There's a little refreshment station. And wouldn't you know it, there is a pole that goes all the way through the ceiling into some room above with like a little hole cut out, like a fireman's pole that goes from one floor to the other.
Francesca's got Bethany on the pole? Bethany's father's still alive.
It's a method of egress, ma'am. How dare you corrupt my beautiful world?
A beautiful dancer. I look forward to seeing what's corrupt? Neal, I'm excited for her. Ballerina, you said, in the future.
Yeah.
We meant a bar pole, of course, right? So, can I climb up the pole?
That would be an athletics check to climb up the pole. Yeah. Or an acrobatics.
Let's see what I am less bad at.
And while you're looking for your check, we're gonna see Pebble. You've just talked with Lazuli. Lazulai's run off to go fill a sack with wood shavings, and you've come back around to take a look, and you see the front door is left open. Are you interested in the front door, or are you going to watch the back door?
While I wait for Leslie to come back, I'm just gonna go peek around the entry because I want to make sure that Boldara's all right. Because I didn't expect her to go in.
Well, give me a perception check. Ooh, that's a great athletics check. You can shimmy up that pole, no problem. Would you also give me a perception check while you shimmy, Seltzer, please? Nope, don't even worry about it. It's fine. Jen, you will hear this of flesh on pole, shimmying its way up.
So I'm like, Lara, are you there? Do I like see her? I guess
because she's through the door and through another door in a separate side room. And maybe if you went and pressed your face to the glass, you would. But you'd have to walk up the stairs to even get to the window to see in.
I would like to try to just as I'm I don't know where she is. Maybe she's talking to someone. I don't know. I would like to inspect the surrounding area, but my intention is still to come out if I see Lazuli showing up with the bag. But since the door's open and nobody's stopping me, might as well look around. So I'm trying to get the lay of the land. Is there a kitchen nearby?
Yeah, well, if you're gonna step on inside, you will absolutely see a dwarf shimmying up a pole through one doorway. And I think that'll probably distract you from any other inspections that are going to be going on.
Yeah. All right, fair enough. So I guess I know that she's okay, but I'm a bit confused about what she's doing.
Yep.
Okay. Mulan style, that's how.
Right. Well, I think this is the point where we...
Business.
Well, because you rolled a 1 on that perception check, Seltzer.
Yes, Neal?
You don't hear what's happening in the room above you until you ascend through the floor and get up the pole a little bit higher. You can see in the room, which is a bedroom, because obviously you just go from your bedroom down to your dressing area. You can see the well, it's a 1 on the perception check. It looks like someone has trapped a rather large cat underneath the blankets and sheets of the bed. And it is, going around in circles, or it's moving about really quickly. It's like a long cat.
Does the pole go up another floor?
No, it just goes to the end of this floor, to this ceiling here.
To the moon.
Well, what I know about cats is that you shouldn't rush them, especially if they can't see you, and especially if they're in an agitated state. So, what I'm going to do is approach this playful cat into the sheets. As you all know, you have cats, you make the bed, you go whoosh like one of those parachutes in gym class, and the cats like to get underneath and so I would do as I would do with our 2 kitty cats at home. Of course, Boots and Fluke, put the sheet over them and go, who's crazy? Who's crazy? And I touch the end of the bed and I go, shoo, 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 over the sheets.
Give me a last minute insight check, please. Last moment, just before you get to the bed, a thought might run through your head. Maybe.
Is no that thoughts. Thought? Look at that kitty cat.
The thought that you have the only cats in the city doesn't cross your mind at all. So you get to the bed, and do you pull the sheets, or do you make a noise, or do you grab the? What is the first?
No, I'm kind of doing a patting on top of the sheets. So if this is the sheet, I'm like, oh, crazy cat, crazy cat, crazy cat.
Yeah. So the moment you touch the sheets, you hear a very human cry of surprise coming out from underneath the sheets. And a pair of wide feet come out shooting in your direction. You can see that there's a wart on the bottom side, underneath the arch of one of them, that someone's been filing down, but you can still see that circular wart pattern. And they kind of shoot out, and there's some shouting, and moments later, a tall human woman scurries out from underneath the sheets, while another tall human woman scurries out the other end of the bed. But it's dark in this room. You're a dwarf, so you've got great night vision. The humans, however, can't really see what's going on, but you hear these shouts and these cries, and someone's call says get the candle, and someone else is saying get the guards, and then all of a sudden there's an athletics check that you need to make because someone is shoving you
towards the pole, right?
Yeah. They have a 5. So you see these big human hands come and they grab you by the shoulders and they try to just push you backwards. But it's a 5 against your 16. You're a stout dwarf. They're pushing down. They're actually just making you more stable as these hands grasp your shoulders.
And what would they know by touch if they touched my shoulders, Neal?
That you're a dwarf. Probably what they'd figure out pretty fast. And that you're pretty buff, pretty ripped. They'd get a texture of whatever clothing you're wearing.
And Neal, this is a bit of a weird question. Are there any other languages spoken in surrounding towns that would, at least to an ear to someone in this town, sound like, not someone, who's from here who perhaps knows a little of the land, or that this is our house and our bedroom? Something that would really get that across really fast.
There's a bunch of, there's like Nomish and Dwarven and Halfling and, a bunch of languages like that. But all the common tongue is pretty much the same everywhere in the early days of the universe. Yeah.
Right. So we're going to make up some words then, Neal.
Yeah. Make up some words for me.
Yeah, we're going to be there. And in my manliest voice. So just to disassociate the sound, the experience of hearing me and touching me with, anything that would immediately make them think, oh, that's Boldara. Whatever kind of non-Boldara impression I could leave.
Uh-huh.
And then with that athletics, I would like to swoop back down the pole.
Okay. Well, you did kill your athletics. You make some sounds that sounded maybe like a language, and you can hop right back on that pole and slide on down. You can hear the voices calling out, Francesca, what is it? And then there is the sound of someone's big, heavy feet moving towards the hole above you as you get to the bottom, and all of a sudden things start falling down on you. It's a glass followed by a large pottered vase with a flower in it that drops down on the ground underneath you. I'm going to give them 1 attack to see if maybe 2d20 d1, because they do have advantage because you can't really see. +2. A 12 against your AC, Boldara, is 14. Not a hit. Yeah, no. The dodge. You escape the falling vase. You get to the ground floor.
The voice that you heard saying, Francesca, what is it? Was it Bethany's voice, and was it coming from upstairs?
It was definitely Bethany's voice.
And it was coming from the head of the bed. Just left. Okay.
Yeah.
This is about me now?
Yeah, it's you.
Oh. Peb, what are you doing right now?
I just entered the house and then saw you shimmy up the pole. I guess I see you shimmy down the pole now.
I guess you're just standing there.
I'm just there.
You got that door open still?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to run for the door and try and drag you and pull you with me out the front door, and then down the nearest alleyway.
Then I'm like, what's going on? What's going on?
Done and done. As you're running for the alleyway, the door to the estate will slam shut, and you will hear it. That's it.
What did you do? Did you see the ritual?
I saw a ritual.
Oh, and was it like the glass, or was it like the nightcap, or some words? Did you interrupt it?
I definitely interrupted it.
Oh. Well, that's good. Maybe tomorrow, Bethany won't be so enthralled then.
Yeah, I don't know, she's pretty enthralled today. I don't know if she's gonna have the energy to be that enthralled again tomorrow. But, yeah, we should definitely keep running, Pebs.
We should what?
Yeah, keep running. I would like to, can we, dodge all the way back home? I'm, dragging Pebs with me.
All right.
Leslie, you're dead to me. I don't know. You're at the cobbler shop. I don't know. I've left you behind in the house. Like, I'm running. You went to get cornmeal, right?
You'll actually run into Laslai at the house.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Thank God.
Like just coming out with a big giant bag of sawdust.
Just
Did you write cornmeal on it?
I hadn't thought of that, but if you said so,
I think we should.
Well, the party gathers together at the house. The plan was successful, maybe?
That was the worst plan ever, and I hated every minute of it, and never take me back there.
A ritual was interrupted.
Well, why don't we take a break, and we'll come back on the other side with some more city dwarves as we decide to go forward or to abandon this quest for all time. On the other side. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to City Dwarves. So the party meets out front. House. Of their own house.
I'm freaking out. I'm gonna go in the house.
What happened?
I'm gonna find the cat, and I'm gonna lay on the cat like that. And I'm only gonna talk to you through the cat's tummy fur.
I look at Pebble. I'm like, did something go wrong?
I'm not sure. Boldara told me that she saw a ritual, and interrupted it. So like maybe we did what we had to. She did. I don't think she got caught, but she seemed very troubled. Why are we so troubled?
That seems like the point of what we were trying to do. Was it just a really horrible thing that was being done to Bethany? Is that what's happening?
The most horrible thing.
What was she being controlled like we thought?
Yes.
Well, you stopped the ritual. That's good. What did Bethany say?
For now. We're just gonna get right back to it probably right now.
So we have to go back and interrupt it again?
I don't know. I don't know if we should interrupt it. I don't know if Bethany hated it.
Well, she's clearly under a spell.
Yeah, well, I'm not qualified to really break that kind of spell. I mean, I think I just had a different kind of counter spell to offer, and then she preferred, like, that spell, and that's fine. Bethany's allowed to make that choice, and I respect her whatever she chooses.
What do you mean counter spell? You don't have any spell casting abilities.
And what are you talking about? Are you drunk?
There's things I can do that you as my family know nothing about.
I'm looking at Pebble, like, really trying to understand.
Well, like, Boldara, you're being really unclear. Like, should we still go in and try to break the ritual?
Or should we have to go in? We have to go back.
Well, I'm
on my feet again.
I can go without you, but I need to understand if we've done what we set out to do or not. Did we interrupt the ritual, like, as we intended to?
And what kind of ritual was it, so we can be prepared?
It was
like run-of-the-mill charm spell kind of stuff?
Like, was
something obscured from my sight, something that they had to do in the dark, beneath shades and covers and shadows.
Okay, so they do the nightcap ritual under.
They were fucking, in the dark. You guys. They were fucking. She was fucking Bethany.
Oh my god! Well, that's not. That's
why did you say so?
But that's not the ritual.
I was trying to be elegant about it for the rest.
You
fucking.
Ew.
Are you okay?
Oh, she was making all these noises. Like, yeah.
Would it make you feel better if we gave them sawdust in place of cornmeal?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. I might cornmeal on the bag of sawdust.
Yes. Yeah. I think at the very least, we can do this. We can do the cornmeal strategy. And, like, who knows the repercussions, right? Like, there's this thing that somebody was talking about, like, how a butterfly and then stuff happened. And, like, I don't know. I would call it the butterfly effect, but like if we give them cornmeal sawdust instead of cornmeal, imagine the repercussions it would have. Like maybe their cake's gonna be ruined. Maybe they're gonna have such a bad dinner that they don't do the nightcap. And then maybe the spell's broken.
Scientific studies said that it has to be more than 75% sawdust before people even notice.
I mean, this is all sawdust.
Yeah. But they're not even very perceptive.
I mean, all right, we're gonna do the sawdust thing. We're gonna ruin their dinner. And I mean, maybe on the way I'll find out more about this nightcap ritual thing.
I feel like maybe, Boldara, you should just like hang out outside while we figure this out.
Yeah. We'll report back.
Boldara just follows you out the front door.
There's a really nice hammock in the backyard. You can just lay there, have a chill. We'll because our mission was to find out what was going on inside the house. So we'll have a look around. You take a little time.
Little nap.
Yeah.
I shouldn't show my face there again.
Actually, maybe that. Did they see you?
They touched me.
They touched you? What? How?
Like lightly on the shoulders above my clothes, but I didn't like it.
This is all.
I don't want to go back. I'm just gonna sit down on the front step of the cobbler's shop and like stiffly lean sideways in the door frame, and then just let my tears run freely down my face.
You know what?
I'll set a beer in her hand and step over her and be like, "Come on, Pebble."
Yeah. Why don't you just focus on supporting whatever?
Oh, it didn't go good.
What's her face? Oh my god.
Protoni,
yeah. Protoni doing the inspector hat. You should focus on that. It's gonna be super important in our mission.
I just imagine Protoni kind of standing next to me, just like putting like different hats on my like unwilling dwarf head to like model them for you.
They'll be fine. Let's go, Pebble.
Yeah, let's go. So we like carry the sawdust cornmeal.
Yeah, but when you get back to the estate, you can see there's kind of a commotion out front. The town guard has been called. There's a bunch of people with lanterns and large candles. There is as well lit as it's going to be. It's dark by now. It's definitely dark by now. And there out on the front steps are Bethany and Francesca in long nightgowns, but still wearing fantastic heels in the process. And a whole slew of servants, and the town guard is there, speaking to them at their various heights and, chatting. And you can see when the lead investigator is turning to talk to someone who's not Bethany or Francesca for a moment, you can see Bethany is like apologizing to Francesca, is like really upset and like, I'm so sorry. And you're far enough away at this moment that you can't hear what's being said, but it definitely looks like Bethany's asking Francesca to forgive her for something.
That's not good. That's not good. Why would she be apologizing? Other than if she knows it's Boldara.
Or maybe that because of this whole thing, they missed their nightcap and Francesca's mad again.
That could be. How can we figure this out without them knowing that we're here?
I forgot the, like, could I try to remember the name of the person they were calling me?
Oh.
It was Cornflower. Oh, no, I wouldn't know.
You weren't there. Give me a intelligence check.
I didn't note it. I should have noted it. It's the type of stuff I usually note.
Mm-hmm.
6. Can I use my inspiration?
Go for it. Oh.
There you go.
They called you Cornflower.
Oh my god. Called me Cornflower. Oh my god, that's why I wrote Cornflower.
Yeah.
And they wanted Cornflower?
Cornmeal.
That's why I got so confused with the names.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Pebble. I'm gonna cast Disguise Self, and I'm gonna go over there and just look like an observer. see if I can hear what's happening.
That's a good idea. And I'm gonna show up with the big bag of cornmeal, and I'm gonna say that Cornflower asked me to bring that.
What are you gonna do after that?
I'll just roll with it.
So, if I don't see you, should I just leave?
I mean, just try to get in there. Like, if somehow they like take you as one of theirs, just roll with it, I guess.
I'm trying to keep a low profile.
Yeah, keep a low profile. Keep a low profile. It's good. It's good. But like, try to find out more. Like a passerby, a curious Snoopy neighbor.
Mm-hmm.
People are curious about this stuff.
Neal, you said like police are here. What are the police like in the dawn of time?
In this idealized world, you've got a couple of soldiers, a couple of spearmen who are standing around keeping an eye on the perimeter, just making sure that nothing weird is going on. You've got a pair of investigators, one who is taking notes while the other one talks to somebody. And that's it. It's 5 people.
Okay, I disguise myself as a reporter.
Oh, I like that. I was gonna say you could be like another cobbler, that's like wondering what the hell's going on with like the head cobbler people, but reporter sounds even better.
Thank you. I have a little notepad.
Mm-hmm.
I walk up. I don't go immediately to Bethany and Francesca. I start like talking to others, like people standing by.
Oh yeah,
what
definitely
happened?
onlookers. Yeah.
What happened here?
Oh, there was a break-in. Didn't you hear? The folks who showed up just barged into the house, right into the bedroom.
Do they know who it was?
No.
Wow.
Who are you?
That's terrifying. Oh, I'm a reporter.
Oh. Is this gonna be in the New Times?
I can't make any promises, you know. It's you know how editors are. But I'll do. You know, what's your name? I'll make sure that I get a quote from you.
Well, I'm Becca. It's nice to meet you.
Thank you, Becca. Yeah. All right. I better go talk to the victims here. I just circle around until I'm kind of like near Bethany and Francesca, and I'm gonna go up to Bethany and be like, "I'm so sorry to hear about this. I'm here from the New Times, and just wondered if you would be willing to tell us what happened here tonight."
Bethany kind of looks at you and looks back to Francesca, who's like not looking at her, and seems sort of torn, and goes, "I'm sorry. You're from the. This is just it's a trying moment. Could you
Oh, of course. Another time. I kind of fade into the background and just try to like stay within earshot to hear what Bethany is apologizing to Francesca for.
Right now, she's just trying to get her attention. She's doing like the tugging on the elbow, and Francesca is like pointedly ignoring her and trying to interrupt the investigator who's asking one of the servants about something. But the investigator like keeps waving her off, like, "Hold on, I'm in the middle of something right now. I'll get to you in just a moment, ma'am." And while you're trying to overhear, one of those 3 spearmen walks on over to you and goes, "Excuse me, we're here to secure the crime scene."
Yeah, absolutely. That's good. I'll make sure to note that in the Times that you guys were doing a great job. The city should know what fantastic work you all do keeping us safe. I just thank you so much.
Are you with the New Times or the Old Times?
New Times.
Oh.
I'm new at the New Times.
I see.
Yeah.
Well, what do you need to know?
Well, are there any leads on who was the perpetrator here of this break-in?
I was a very tall dwarf, broad shoulders, well muscular.
Broad-shouldered dwarf. Any other descriptors?
Well, one of the victims has a suspect in mind. We'll have to talk with them tomorrow.
Who is it?
It's an official police investigation stuff.
Oh, come on. Come on.
I couldn't tell you.
Oh,
I couldn't. What if it gets out before we get a chance to investigate her? I mean, them.
Would I do that? Would I do that?
I don't know. What's your name?
Rose Mars. At your service.
give me a persuasion check.
Oh man, I really want this character to come back and back again and actually become like a writer for the new times.
Rose Mars.
Yeah.
Persuasion.
That is a meet. That is the DC that you need. It's only 10. Guards is a lowly guardsman. He wants his name in the paper. Or at least he wants a connection on the inside. He wants to be doing something important other than, watching the crowd at a nothing was stolen, no one was injured, but someone was in our house sort of crime scene, which is kind of boring. So he'll...
The voice of the police, He's got to speak for them.
Well, it's got to be off the record. You didn't get this from me.
Of course.
But it's, see, these two run the Cobblers Guild. And there's a set of unqualified cobblers who have been desperately, cloyingly trying to get in the guild for some time now. And who just don't meet the standard of the guild. At least that's what the victims are saying. And it was one of them. Particularly... Well, I haven't met them myself. I probably shouldn't be using the victim's words here, but a rather tall dwarf by the name of Boldera?
Doesn't ring a bell. These shoe politics, am I right?
He shrugs. I don't know. My mom still buys my boots for me.
Oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
They're nice. They're not nice. I don't say that to him, but I think that. I say they're nice. Well, let me, spell your name for me. What was your name?
My name is Jimothy. Jimm Ithy.
Jimothy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's been really nice to meet you, Jimothy. I'm sure we'll see each other again. Yeah, a hardworking, upstanding guard like you. I'm sure that the really important things in the city, we'll run into each other again.
Mm-hmm. At this moment, the investigators begin to walk away down the stairs, and Francesca turns and storms into the house, and Bethany is left on the patio, what do you call it? The porch, which is 3 feet up, so it's at your chin level essentially, sort of weeping for a moment to herself. And she's gonna have to walk inside soon because otherwise she's just crying on a porch in the full view of public. But there's a brief window of time if you wanted to grab her attention.
I'm gonna ask Jimothy. Hey, do you have a handkerchief? I have something in my eye.
Of course. Then he grabs a handkerchief and hands it to you.
Thank you. I'll be sure to clean it, get it back to you next time. I walk away dabbing my eye.
He looks confused behind your back.
And then not immediately there, so he sees me taking the hanky, but kind of weave my way in and out. I'll go sit next to Bethany, just kind of conspiratorially, and hand her the hanky. Be like, these kinds of things always feel worse than they are. Trust me, I've seen it all, and don't worry, it'll be okay.
He looks up at you. Cocks her head to the side. Do I know you?
I'm Rose Mars. I'm with the New Times. I'm new at the New Times.
Something about you seems so familiar, but I don't quite place you.
I get that a lot, I think that's what makes me a good reporter.
What have you seen before? Break-ins?
Yeah, and these kinds of things, it's usually the person you would least expect, It's some drunk you don't even know. It was an accident, it's usually, unfortunately for me, not much of a story.
That's not what's got me broken up.
What is?
Well, now she's got to make herself some sort of check because who just spills their guts when they meet someone?
I'm very charismatic.
The handkerchief move was good.
Why don't you give me your performance versus her insight rolls?
Come on, performance. Ooh, yeah.
Oh my god, she can't
Good
do
timing,
that.
good timing.
Yeah, no. She looks at you and just goes, I'm so tired. I need someone to talk to. Can you step inside? I don't want to do this in front of the public.
Of course. I kind of like arm her on the shoulder, like take her in.
She then stands up and your arm has to drop to her waist or knees. Inside the house you go. She leads you to the left, away from the shoe room with the pole, into a different sitting room. This looks like some sort of art room. This
is the
easel.
door that Boldara came in, right?
She came in through the front door. Yes.
Am I going in through the front door right now?
You're going in through the front door. If you look to your right is the room that Boldara was in, and you guys are going to the left, away from that, into a new room. Mm-hmm.
I'm just curious if I'm walking by any kind of rack that Boldara might have hung anything on.
Well, there's a Boldara's boulder holder hanging on a rack right next to you. That seems to have escaped anyone's notice so far.
I don't know. There's
try
like evidence right there.
I'm gonna try to sleight of hand.
Several people have boulder holders at this point in the narrative. Let's not jump to any hasty conclusions.
It could be. You're
They
right.
were invented 5 days ago.
Our
And
cousins,
distributed widely across 2 towns.
all of our cousins, all dwarves, all broads of shoulders. Like, it could be any of us. We're like
These-
hundreds.
Gaudy ass marble columns. They thought they were back at the quarry. They came home and threw their shit down before got their house. Oops, easy mistake.
Well, give me a sleight of hand there, Lazuli.
I need to declare my inspiration beforehand if I want to do this with advantage, right?
Yes, please.
Okay, I'm using inspiration.
Do it.
Sleight of hand. 19 or 15.
Perfect. You kill it. She looks back as you are like picking up you like, pull it off the coat rack and it hits the ground, and she looks over at you and you're picking it up and she's like, huh? But then she doesn't recognize the thing that you're picking up, so obviously it must have been yours that you just dropped on the ground.
I just dropped my bag. Sorry.
Oh.
Clumsy.
She steps into the drawing room with you. There's a small fire that's just been started recently, and a servant is still bent over, like feeding it and coaxing it. And Bethany will come on over, gently put a hand on the servant's shoulder and say, I'll take care of it from here. Thank you so much. I could just use a moment if you don't mind. And the servant will get up and politely leave the room, shutting the doors on the way out. Bethany will plop down, ignoring the comfy chairs nearby, but on the tile right before the fireplace, and say, oh, it's so hard to pretend.
To pretend what?
To keep up appearances. It's... I love my wife.
And?
But there's something that's holding me back from... We've been married a little while now, and we have yet to properly consummate our marriage. And every time she gets started, there's always something that comes up. And I don't know why. I don't know what it is. And I feel like I'm letting her down.
When she says, I don't know what it is, I put my hand on her knee and I'm like, don't you? But don't you?
She's kind, she's sweet, she's intelligent, beautiful. She's got dexterous fingers, silver tongue. She's everything that a woman would want. She knows how to take care of a room. She can handle her servants and her staff. She's so good at business. She's got a short temper sometimes, but that's her biggest flaw, and that we're all flawed individuals. She's a good communicator. She lets me know when things aren't going well.
Look. Spinach. It's so good for you. Leafy greens, tons of iron, great in a salad, so versatile, blended in a smoothie. So many reasons to love kale. But I love blueberries. And when it comes down to am I gonna pick kale for the rest, or spinach for the rest of my life, or am I gonna pick blueberries? I'm gonna pick blueberries because you know what? Life is short. You deserve to be the happiest version of you in this short life here at the beginning of time. And I don't know, I don't know your life, but you seem like maybe you're longing for something. And you deserve blueberries, girl.
But I have blueberries. Look at this house. Look at this life we've built. Everything about it is perfect. And yet, whenever it comes to deeper intimacy, something in me pulls back.
No, it couldn't be. I wouldn't.
What?
It's just I did this story recently, and it was about this couple, and one of them was telling me just the exact same thing, and it totally must be a totally different situation. But the end of that story, you'll never believe it. It ended up being that she had been under an enchantment the whole time. And her wife had just ensorcelled her into this marriage, and it was her subconscious that was telling her that she was actually in love with someone else, and that she was just magically being held in this relationship. And so it was like awful. This like true love held her back kind of thing. And ultimately, it was a very happy ending. It helped her see the truth. But yeah, totally different thing. But it just reminded me of it.
Well, that's. Francesca's a great businesswoman and a good cobbler. She doesn't do much cobbling anymore. She runs the shop these days, but I don't think she's got time for sorcery. I can't imagine that she would know how to do anything like that.
Oh, I mean, people hire for that kind of thing. That's what's done these days,
I suppose.
Yeah, but enough about my stories. This is, I like kind of rubber back. I'm like, this is about you. What else do you need to get off your chest? It looked like you really needed a friend.
Well, we're having these connection problems when we're alone. In public, everything's great. We look great together. We go out together. We make the scene together. We run the town together, and it's fantastic. But whenever it comes to issues of intimacy, there's there's another woman I just can't get out of my head.
See, I thought so. And that's okay,
No, exes are in the past for a reason. And wherever Tiffany is, I'm sure she's happy now.
Yeah? Who's Tiffany?
She's an ex.
What happened with her?
She left me.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Cheated on me, actually. Yeah.
I'm sorry. That sucks. She didn't deserve you for sure.
Well, I'm probably happy now.
You deserve to be with someone who loves you so much they know the sound of your footsteps coming down the hall. So much they know, like, the shape of your feet. That they could describe your hair like a sunset.
Well, that sounds nice.
Yeah.
But I don't think that sort of connection really exists in the world.
Why not?
Well, I've never known anyone who's felt that way about someone else.
Really?
She shakes her head. Have you? Who?
Yeah.
Who are you in love with?
Well, I don't know that I am an expert on love or anything, but I feel like if
surely there must be someone. that's caught your eye. Maybe not love, but...
Well, there is this just goddess of a person, you know, just
Yeah.
yeah.
Tell me
It's
about
like-
her.
It's like the sea bends to her will, you know? It's like every good and beautiful gift that you could imagine comes from her. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I just feel like I never would have seen her until I was open to accepting that kind of presence in my life, you know?
Mm-hmm. Who is this person?
Oh, I feel like if I say it, it'll curse it.
I mean, I told you mine. Told you.
Her name's Nadine.
Nadine. That's a pretty name.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What'd she do?
She works with wildlife. Yeah, kind of a like a conservationist, I guess.
What's a conservationist?
It's someone who, like, from the beginning of time realized that the earth is precious and wants to protect it so that future generations never have to feel like the impending heat death of the universe is going to happen during their lifetime.
This kills the Neal.
I thought this was about good vibes.
Sorry.
Everything's fine,
climate,
guys. We're all fine.
It's fine.
did my
Okay.
climate ennui bleed through?
Wow. That sounds like an important job. I really hope there's a
Yeah.
lot of people out there doing that.
Yeah, me too. In fact, I think that all of us should probably be doing that to some extent.
Especially the ones of us that dump thousands upon thousands of gallons of oil into the Gulf of Mexico. Those of us
Those people don't
specifically.
exist.
What's the Gulf of Mexico?
Gosh, I don't know, guys. I lost the thread.
Wow, those clerics of Nadinus must be great people.
So,
Is that what she Nadine, is she named after the goddess herself?
oh God, I never thought about that. I wonder if that's what she's named after. That would make so much sense, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
You know, I was asking around out there, and they said that you had a suspect in mind. Are you gonna be okay? Do you feel like do you want me to go check on someone, make sure they're?
Oh no, I'm sure the law enforcement is upright and honest.
Yeah.
The dawn of
But, you
time
know,
and all, you know.
It can't hurt to have some eyes that people aren't like looking for. You know what I mean?
Well, I don't think we have a suspect. My wife has a problem with a person, and she is jumping to conclusions. Just because the person who entered the house was a dwarf doesn't mean it's one of my other exes. This really like clingy and needy and like cringy dwarf named Buldara. She's also a shoemaker, and she just can't let go.
That doesn't seem like the kind of person that would do something like this. I think you're right. I think that's just jealousy.
Yeah, I mean, she's harmless, but she's just a little. Ugh.
Yeah.
I really don't know what I was thinking with that time.
Just kind of like loves you too much kind of thing.
Yeah, like worships the ground I walk in on, even though we've been broken up for I can't even remember how long, and we dated for a while, but like, I mean,
Like the kind of person that would know the sound of your footsteps.
yeah, but like not in a good way. You know how like endearing and creepy are like actually the same actions, but it's like the context around them that really changes it. You know? Yeah. It's that. She's on the wrong side of the context line.
I guess I've just never been. Maybe I've never been loved that much, you know?
It's not love, it's a sickness, really.
Is love not a sickness?
Ugh. It is, but it's a good sickness, and I do love my wife.
That's the first time you said that, you know.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I do. We are great together. It's just this one thing, and I don't even know why I'm talking to. I can't talk to the servants about it, and
Hey, all off the record. No worries.
Yeah. Well, I've since we got married, I've sort of drifted away from all my old friends. We're doing so much. We're so busy together all the time. I feel like I've kind of lost. Maybe that's what I need. Maybe I needed to get in touch with friends and develop a new social circle. Maybe I'm becoming codependent.
Hey, that sounds wise to me.
Yeah. What would you say your name was again? I'm so sorry to invite you into my house and not even offer you drinks or refreshments and then forget your name on top of that when you've been such a kind soul to come in and hear me blabber on about all my nonsense.
Hey, no worries. This is... I think we really... I don't know. I feel like we could be friends. I'm glad that you felt like you could confide in me. And don't worry. I'm happy to chit-chat. I'm glad you're feeling a little bit better. My name was and is Rose Mars.
Rose Mars, that's such a nice name.
Thank
Where
you.
can I call on you, Rose Mars?
I'm between places at the moment, but as soon as I get settled...
You're living on the
I'll drop off-
street?
Oh, no. I'm just like, I'm crashing on a friend's couch, and they don't like it when people come around, so when I get settled, I'll drop you a card. And I'm packing up. I'm doing that thing where I'm like, yeah. No, don't worry.
Okay.
I'll send it to you.
Well, do stay in touch. As I said, I could use more friends, and it would be really nice to. This sounds a little dorky. It sounds like my ex's younger sister, actually. But would you be my friend?
I'd love to.
Well, Nerul bless you. That's it, the goddess of family, home, and society, and the hearth.
And you.
And she'll walk you to the door and let you on out.
I'll just look like I'm taking notes until I feel like I'm out of sight, and then run around to the back where I'm supposed to meet Pebble.
There's Pebble.
There's Pebble.
Right, Pebble? Unless you did something in the meantime?
I was with the cornmeal, and I was
right.
I had a whole thing with that to do.
Yeah. Let's do the cornmeal then.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay. Cool. All right. So I'm like little dwarf showing up with the cornmeal.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna go close to the servants as if I'm expecting them to expect me.
Mm-hmm.
So with a satisfied, look like I got the cornmeal.
Yeah, you got this big sack. You're sort of headed over where the servants are, but the constables are talking to the servants.
Yeah.
It's a little bit tough. And one of the other guards, one of the other spearmen will sort of walk up to you and be like, "Excuse me, there, servant, laborer, person. This is a restricted area. What's going on?"
I got sent to go get cornmeal, so I'm back with the cornmeal.
Oh, do you work for the house?
Well, they asked me to go get the cornmeal, so I guess yes.
Okay. Well, there's been a robbery. Well, a break-in.
Oh, are we safe? Is this area dangerous?
Don't worry, ma'am. I'll keep these streets safe.
Whew.
You can
Good
count
thing you're
on me.
here.
Yes.
Good to know. That's scary. I've heard of a lot of robberies actually. Hasn't there been one also with at the cobbler place a while back?
Well,
It
you're
got
very up to date on
ransacked.
your crime. That was a few months ago now. Yes,
Yeah,
one of
I
the
remember
cobblers
that.
did have a break-in. A lot of stuff was stolen.
That's
Do you have
scary
any reason
stuff.
to expect these two are related?
I don't know. Do you think people could have something against cobblers?
Now that you mention it, that's actually I don't think we've clicked in on that angle. Why don't you stay right here, and he'll the guard will sort of turn his back to you and walk over to the person who's interviewing the servants, and like tap him on the shoulder, and he'll wave him off and be like, "Not now! I'm interrogating someone," and he'll like stand patiently by to talk to the person. But that does leave the entire alleyway over to the cellar door completely open.
I'm gonna head over there with the cornmeal.
Yep, you can walk on down the cellar door. It's still unlocked.
All right, and I'm just coming in.
Yep.
What's going on now that I'm coming in? What am I hearing?
Now it's empty in here. It's dark. You've got dwarf vision, and there's some moonlight out, so you can sort of see the inside of this cellar. There's a bunch of racks. Most of them aren't filled yet, but there's definitely some areas where like people have been stocking stuff, and there's a couple of labels on the racks and barrels and baskets and hats and some farming and gardening implements in here, but mostly just like storage underground where you would keep your food to keep it nice and cool, because there's no such thing as refrigeration. So you bury it in the ground because the ground is at a stable temperature all year long.
Do I see any types of like, because I'm still taking on the whole nightcap thing, like is there any kind of like nightcap beverages containers that could be marked that I could catch my eye, maybe?
The part of the cellar is a rack of wine.
I'm gonna look at the wine.
It's all brand new, bottled this year.
Are they opened or like closed?
No, of course not.
Fresh wines?
Oh. No. If you open a bottle of wine, you finish a bottle of wine. That's the rule, am I right?
Fair enough. All right, so they're not opened. Are we like in the kitchen nearby? Do I feel like this is near the kitchen?
Yeah, the staircase there would lead to the kitchen. Definitely, 100%. You don't even have to go up the stairs to know that goes to the kitchen. That's how the cellars work.
Yeah,
in this
that's
day
what
and
I
age.
figured. I guess I would make my way towards the kitchen.
Yep, you can go on up the steps. Kitchen door is unlocked.
I have my cornmeal. That's like my whole alibi.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, you get to the top of the steps. Do you go into the kitchen?
Do I see anybody, or is it still like? I guess everything's empty, right?
It's
People
empty.
are
All the servants are out
yeah.
front talking to the cops.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm gonna look around the kitchen. Does anything look like a nightcap possibility?
No.
Like
There's like a
digestive-
no. It looks like somebody is in the middle of preparing something, like some sort of meal. Like there's flour out, and there's some eggs, and there's some sugar, and there's some milk, and there's a bunch of things in small bowls and a big bowl that's got some other stuff mixed into it already. But you're not a cook. You wouldn't know what's going on here.
Well, I'm gonna leave the sawdust here.
Are you sure? You've got the whole house to yourself while everyone's outside talking to the cops.
Well, I'm just saying I'm dropping the sawdust here.
Got it. Yeah, yeah.
I want them to find this sawdust and hopefully cook a shitty cake with it or something.
Nice.
Yeah, I was excited about that.
Okay, well.
All right.
You gonna bail? You gonna bounce?
I'm trying to think like in this day and age and from the layout of like what I've seen so far, because I've entered from the front, now I've entered from the cellar, I've seen the kitchen, I see the entry, I saw the pole of traveling through floors. Like, where would I feel like going to go towards where I would imagine a nightcap would be taken? So I imagine like some kind of like little like like chairs.
A sitting room, yeah.
Like, yeah, I'm trying to find a name for that. Like fancy
parlor
velvet
or a sitting room.
couches. Yeah, like.
Yeah. Well,
the place where a TV would be, but there's no TV because not in this day and age. But like, yeah.
Well, you explore the house just a little bit. You can hear the voices outside, and you come into a sitting room. And there's like an art stand and an easel here, and there's a bunch of bottles against one wall and a whole little stack of glasses.
Did you say bottle?
Yep, there's 3 bottles against the wall.
3 bottles. And they look like what? Like strong alcohol?
Yeah, one of them is a very dark colored alcohol or liquid. The other is very clear, and the third is like light blue in color.
How could I modify them? I don't have anything on me.
Well, it's while you're doing this that you hear the angry steps of somebody beginning to walk into the building. And I need you to make me a stealth check to take cover before anyone spots you.
Oh my god.
Oh,
I am one with the best cover.
Well, you can dive underneath one of these comfy chairs because you're small and you can wriggle underneath it. And you can see some feet in a nightgown walk past you, and then some other steps come past you, and then it's nice and quiet. They didn't come into the room, they just came down the hallway that the room connects to. It's fine. The danger's past. You can go back to your work now.
Yeah. I don't have, do people carry water gourds on them? No, right? I wouldn't have water on me. Could I?
Not in the city. You probably wouldn't be hauling water to a break-in. That would be weird.
You know what? Since I don't have water and I feel like there's a little bit of pressure right now, my only idea is to grab the bottles and mix all three of them. I just pour a bit of some in each of them and I just make a big melting pot. I don't know what's gonna happen, but that should be interesting.
All right. You start mixing these bottles.
For testing?
No, I just mix them all together because I'm if it's a charm spell and maybe another one's just neutral or whatever, but if I mix them all, Francesca's gonna be messed up too, something's gonna happen or causing trouble. Yeah.
Well, it's as you're mixing all of these that another set of feet are coming on in.
God,
Give me another stealth check.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, it's another natural 20.
No
my
problem.
God. You dive right back under the same chair, and in comes Bethany and Lazuli, and they sit down, and they have a long heart-to-heart conversation right in front of you as you're stuck underneath this chair. But with 2 natural 20s in a row, I think you can mix the booze, and they're on one side of the chairs near the fire. You could sneak out the back of the chair and place it and move on, or you could sit and listen to the juiciest story you've ever heard. It's all of the details of Boltara's personal life. And
I guess
Tiffany?
I'm listening because
Who's Tiffany? Who is this witch?
I listen to it. Might as well. I feel like I'm doing a really good job hiding. I can feel it in my bones.
Yeah.
So I'm let's enjoy this moment and bask in storytelling.
Yeah. Well,
and I'm who's the reporter? Who's this person? Who's Nadine? She sounds awesome.
30 minutes later.
Wait, do I even know it's Leslie?
Yeah, I think you saw her disguise self.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I know it's her.
Yeah.
Okay.
30 minutes later, they finish up, and you can exit.
Yeah, I'm gonna exit.
So freaking glad I took that spell.
No, it's okay. I'm gonna exit through whatever feels safest. I guess through the cellar feels safest.
Okay. You can exit through the cellar with 2 natural 20s in a row. You can do whatever you want. And the party will reconvene back at the house.
All right.
On the way back, I asked Pebble how her, infiltration went. And we find out that we both heard the same information.
Yeah.
So I'm
I was underneath the couch. I mixed all the nightcaps.
Did you bring some so we could figure out what was in it?
No.
Okay.
But I'm pretty sure something's gonna change. It's bound to have caused trouble. First of all, I left the cornmeal in the kitchen. So those fools are gonna make some really disappointing cake. And I'm high-fiving you back.
Nice.
It's written cornmeal on it. Of course they're gonna think it's fine. I wouldn't check. And they had 3 bottles. Different colors, different types of whatever that is. And now I mixed them all. They're all mixed, the 3 of them together in the 3 bottles.
Don't you think I'm gonna notice the different color?
I don't know. I mean, one of the bottles was dark. I don't know. Right? It was dark?
Yeah, there was a dark one and a clear one and a blue one, and now they're all sort of shitty looking.
I don't no, but the drinks are like messed up for sure.
Honestly,
like there's gonna be trouble. There's gonna be
really
trouble.
like this just causing random mischief in their house thing. I think we should do that more.
Yeah, maybe that's how we get to them and we make them break up. They're like haunted by some weird stuff happening.
But we gotta figure out who this Tiffany person is.
She was talking
You're just
about
the old men from Scooby-Doo is what you are.
Yeah. She was like talking about her perfect life and like her house where like everything's pristine. Well, now look at it. Here's your sawdust cake. Here's your shitty nightcap.
Enjoy your alcohol slushy.
Yeah, and here's a break-in. Like, how nice is your life now? You fool.
Yeah. Okay. But here's how this can still fit with the narrative that we want to believe, which is that Tiffany, it could be that this spell like makes Bethany remember Boldara as someone named Tiffany. Like somehow it separated them in her mind.
But I have another idea for when the police comes by, because they will come, right? The guards, based on what you told me. So what I was telling them when I showed up with the cornmeal is that I remember there's been another break-in a couple months back at our shop. I said, but I didn't say it was me. I said it was like the cobbler's shop. So I'm trying to send them on this lead that there's somebody causing trouble with all the cobblers and we're just other victims.
Comes the knock at your front door.
Genius.
Yeah.
As we go to our
and maybe
last
we're being framed.
break. And then we'll see you on the other side. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the City Dwarves, episode 9. There is a knock at the door while you were discussing things, and then it comes again.
We were here all evening, right? Working on this hat.
Yeah.
I was.
Authorities!
I'll go open the door. And I'll look tired. Hello?
Yeah. I'm gonna be like elsewhere, like at the back doing something.
I'm looking for the cobble feet.
You have them?
Is this the same residence that was broken into some months back?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got a lead?
Well, there's just been another break-in at another cobbler's.
No.
It's a cobbler string?
What they take? What?
Well, we're not certain if they're related or not, but I just wanted to ask you if you remember anything from that incident.
They robbed us.
Pebble?
I'm looking for my notes. Literally Pebble's also looking for her notes, like rummaging through like her paper trail because she takes a lot of notes.
I'm just like, it has to be related, right?
I have it. I'm like,
well, there's enough break-ins. Eventually, they're bound to hit the same sort of workplace more than once.
Well, they've been hitting places, not cobblers.
Well, we're still in the investigatory phase right now, ma'am. We're just looking to piece anything together. If you have any information or you remember anything about the break-ins that could be of use in our current investigation, we'd greatly appreciate that.
I come back to the front with my notepad and I'm like, yes, our workshop was ransacked, but they left one left boot from a set that had come in a few days ago, fixed perfectly, which is really messed up.
But like, not perfectly, we would do it, but like.
And it said, get out of the cobbling business now, or else.
Which is me.
And where were you at the time of the break-in?
Weren't we
like back in the days?
Of shoes?
No, back in the days, like when our family got ransacked.
Yeah, when your shop got ransacked. Where were you? Do you remember?
At the funeral.
Yeah, you were at the funeral.
Oh, we were at the funeral. Good memory.
I see.
I start crying a little bit.
Please, ma'am. That makes me extremely uncomfortable.
Well, you asked.
Please hold your emotions together until I'm yes. So you weren't there to see anything, but they left a shoe repaired shoe?
They left the left shoe.
The left
shoe.
boot.
The left shoe is what they left us with when they left.
The left boot.
They left the left.
Yes. A left boot from a set that had come in a few days ago. And then we looked into whose shoe it was, right?
And did you find out who?
Wasn't it from the Temple of Shoes?
Those unsympathetic jerks.
The shoe that got repaired was the shoe of a customer named Barana, a half-elf down the block. But we haven't seen her since then. We still have the left shoe. Yeah.
And was any money taken?
All of it.
I see. And I'm not the only officer that works this town or this precinct. Was the culprit ever caught? We don't have any record-keeping system whatsoever. It's literally just who remembers what.
Nobody got caught.
No.
I see. Well, I'm afraid you haven't been of any help at all, but thank you for trying.
There's a lot of us under that category, sir.
Is there one of you here named Boldara?
I don't know, detective. What do you think? I'm like elbowing Kev like way too hard.
There is someone here named Boldara, yes.
I'm looking for a tall, muscular dwarf named Boldara. That appears to be you.
Yeah.
Oh no, am I tall and
Boldara, where have you been this evening?
Right there. I point to the stoop by his feet.
Are there beer bottles? Like, because you've been drinking for a long time, right?
Like in a chalk outline of me. Like a beer bottle shaped like...
You've been here all night?
No.
Look how many
no, I
bottles
drank
are there?
those all at once 4 seconds ago.
Uh-huh. Do you know, a woman named Francesca?
That is a demon, not a woman. But yeah, I've heard of Francesca.
Uh-huh. Were you at her residence anytime today?
When I go there.
Ma'am, are you okay? Your crying is making me very uncomfortable.
I hold her to my bosom so she can't talk anymore. And I'm like, you're upsetting her. Francesca's very mean to Boldara. Francesca has a vendetta, a grudge against Boldara. It makes her very sad. And she would never go to her house. Look how upset it makes her to even talk about her.
I've been told that Francesca has something that you want, and so you might be...
Did
Francesca tell you that?
If Francesca has it, I don't want it.
I'm just like, nope. Did Francesca tell you that? I think that's something Francesca would say.
Well, there appears to be a lot of bad blood between the two of you.
I mean, there looks like a lot of sorrow here and a lot of rage there, is what I think I'm seeing.
Why are they still so mean to me, sis?
I don't know, sweetie. I don't know. She's so mean.
So mean.
Uh-huh. Well, thank you all for your...
fat little feet.
Excuse me?
You could ask our uncle, who is in city council. Francesca's been bullying us. She won't let us join the Cobblers Guild because of this vendetta against Boldara. It's just really petty and childish. But yeah, he brought it.
Isn't it true that you've been attempting to join the guild and you have not been qualified to?
No,
we did the paperwork.
If there was a qualification process, then maybe that would be the case. But they just, made a club that they didn't want us in.
Do you have any proof that your work is up to snuff?
Well, just take a look around. And I'm like proudly displaying
give him the store tour of like all of the shoes.
Like we have
I'm just like following you, sobbing in your shoulders.
Like, we have cats.
Got
Yeah, and like, one proof that we're doing well is that we use I'm gonna assume, Neal, that it's not like unlawful to have debt, right? With like
Debt?
a loan shark.
Oh no, totally.
Like,
of course not.
yeah, so I'm like, well, we used to owe money to the loan shark because the break-in and everything, and we lost all the money. But we actually paid it all back through our successful business. So you know,
just sold a pair of shoes for what, like 200 gold, something like that.
So like, I would call that a pretty successful cobbling business, and therefore I'm pretty sure our shoes are up to par.
Yeah, the investigator picks up one of these and goes, "This is a nice peep toe. My wife would probably want a pair of these."
Send her over. We'll make her a last. We'll get her all set up.
Do you mind if I take this kitten heel with me to ask my wife if this is good enough, if it's on par with the other shoes in the area? I'll return in the morning, I promise.
Is your wife a cobbler?
No, she's not, but she has better taste than I do.
Let him have a shoe. It's okay. He's a guard. He's gonna come back, right? What's your
On
name?
my word. My name is
Guard.
My
Gary
name
Guard.
is Idra.
Idra?
You can always trust me.
The bad boy of the city guard.
Ma'am, whatever the rumors say about me, I appreciate.
They say that after a guard fight once, you smashed your spear and walked away.
Keys flew everywhere.
This is deep StarCraft 2 jokes, by the way.
I was like,
if you're
one
in chat and
time
you understand these jokes, my hat is off to you. My little StarCraft 2 gentleman top hat is off to you.
Nothing but illusions.
Well, I never did recover the spear tip. Lost.
I think someone kept it as a souvenir.
Yeah, well. At least I was fighting a real person that time.
That's deep. That's deep. I love it. There are so few people in the world who will understand these jokes. I love it.
I must have shown you my Greg Idrefield signed GG button that I keep on my desk.
Oh my god.
Amazing.
That was my first StarCraft interview. He was very sweet.
That's cute. I think I have like a mouse pad sign that's like still washing away slowly, where like you barely see anything anymore, but I'm like, I know it was there. There was a bunch of autographed from a bunch of StarCraft people.
The days.
Yeah.
Anyways,
this peep toe and kitten heel and that cone heel over there, you don't. They all come in this size, right? They don't come in something yay wide and yay long.
They come in any size. We make them custom.
I eye his boot, and then I wager what size he's thinking, and I'm like, we even got him in a 10.5 with arch support.
Well, my wife's got real big feet, so yeah.
Yeah, we want your wife to be comfortable when they're out and about, so...
Wow.
And I was crying out loudly.
Ma'am, your crying is making me deeply uncomfortable. I'm going to have to go now.
We'll see you tomorrow.
It is a free action.
And he will exit the stage.
Anna taught me that.
To exit the stage?
No, that crying is a free action.
Dude, do you know that someone is selling t-shirts that say that?
What?
Because
are you getting a cut?
No, they stole my t-shirt. I'm gonna have to start printing them again.
A shirts with that on them.
And were there shirts with that on them before I made them? No. That's fine.
There's a Jeremy Crawford tweet about it even?
Who is that?
It's the guy, he's the lead developer for 5th edition. No need to waste your bonus action on D&D tiers. You can cry while you attack, walk, cast spells, or do just about anything else. I cry while eating popcorn and watching a movie. That's 3 things at once. Hashtag D&D.
Yeah. Because Chris Perkins said on Dice Camera Action that crying was a free action because one of us at one of the many points that we were crying in the game said, I'd like to use my action to cry. And he said, crying is a free action.
Anyway, the guards are gone. It's all settled. Does anyone told Boldara what you learned from Bethany?
I'm gonna tell her when she's sober.
But
That's a
how
wise
was Bethany
idea.
though? She was okay.
I would just tell her that I successfully did the cornmeal thing. That's gonna mess up the cake, and they're gonna have a really bad dinner. Like, not toxic, just really bad. Like, the cake's gonna be a disaster, which might cause some drama. And also, I still suspect there's something about the nightcap ritual. It's not subtle, but I mixed all 3 of the nightcaps together, so I'm pretty sure they're all ruined.
Also, have you ever heard of anyone named Tiffany?
Tiffany.
It's a weird name, right? Never heard it before.
Just Tiffany. Have I heard of Tiffany? Yeah.
Let's see. You have heard of a Theophania. You don't know anyone by the name Tiffany.
No, I've never heard of a Tiffany. Why do you ask?
I just thought you heard someone talking about someone named Tiffany.
Well, who was talking about Tiffany? Somebody, Francesca, is gonna go after her, maybe leave Bethany behind, sad, alone, abandoned, in need of love?
I mean, maybe. I'm just like tucking her in. I'm trying to put her to bed.
I want my kitty cats.
Yeah, just listen to the purrs.
I give her the cats.
Yeah.
The cats on top of her.
The cats want to leave, but I won't let them.
we can end the night there. And we are approaching our ending time here. So I'm going to leave it up to you if we want to just round it out right here and we can wake up in the morning, or if you want to tell Boldara right now what happened in the night and then formulate next steps, which can be enacted next session.
Yeah, the plan I had is just to wait until she wakes up and then tell her all of it when she's sober.
Yeah, so, well, that can be now if we...
Yeah.
By all of it, though, do you mean like all of it, or just like...
This is my plan. I want to sit her down. I want to tell her this is going to be really hard to hear, and you have to listen to all of it, and then we need to react like adults.
All right.
But before you tell her, though, I want to have a talk with you after she's gone to bed.
Okay.
Because I'd like to know, like, do you believe that what she said is what she actually thinks? Or do you think there's like a whole weird charm spell going on that's like messing up everything?
Here's the thing. I want to believe it's a charm spell and that there's something weird going on there. I feel it in my gut. However, what she said isn't untrue.
That's true.
So it can't hurt to urge Boldara to treat Bethany more like a human or a person.
That's true. If she was acting a little bit less invasive, maybe that would be more appealing.
Yeah.
You know, we just did break into her house and everything.
Which we can totally do again, but just, Boldara shouldn't, make it too obvious.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I was going to tell her everything. What do you think?
No, I think it's fine. Like you said, there's something about context, and, breaking into someone's house is more on the creepy side than the cute side, that's for sure.
That's true.
But we should still protect, there's still something messed up going on, and we should definitely stop it.
Yeah.
We cannot let Francesca get away with it.
This is how I'm going to present it to her, that, the part she can play in helping us get to the bottom of this is to be cool. Just be cool.
Because, when they met, maybe that's the angle, right? How did she get Bethany to fall in love with her? How was she then? She was probably not as clingy, right? She didn't know her.
She probably cried less, at least.
She probably cried less.
Yeah.
We're gonna do an intervention.
Yeah, just a sweet, soft, light little intervention in the morning.
Yeah. All right, Tony, prepare the biscuits, the cookies, whatever.
Right.
Something comforting.
Well, the next morning, there's hot chocolate, there's biscuits, and there's waffles for breakfast. Biscuits after waffles.
Nice.
But when you come down, Boldara, your other siblings are sort of awake. They've got the meal prepared for you, and there's a stillness to the room. The conversation sort of dies down as you're eating your waffles, and you notice all eyes on you.
Sweetie, we gotta talk.
I didn't do it. I don't have him. And I never saw it.
Okay, good. Now that we got that out of the way, I feel much better. I just wanted to chat with you about something else now. Pebble and I successfully did some reconnaissance at Bethany and Francesca's house. And I think it's entirely possible that there's some wee-woo, something charm enchantment going on over there. I still think that's true. However, Bethany really opened up to me.
Are you?
Not to me, to Rose Mars, my alter ego, who's a reporter and doesn't.
It doesn't make it better. Are you trying to sis? Are you
No.
comparing yourself to two-time me, my two-time ex-girlfriend?
She's really lonely, okay? And so she wants to talk to anyone.
Hey, sit, and I got a waffle at the end of a fork right in your face, Laza. What did you do?
I bat the waffle away and I get up in her face and I'm like, yeah, that's what you think of me? Is that what this is? That's how this is gonna go? And I start like, I'm mad that she won't even let me talk, so we're about to fight.
She was sad and vulnerable. You put on your little Rose Mars costume and sashay on over there to talk to her, crying her own dead.
I know everything about what Bethany thinks and feels, even though I haven't actually spoken to her in months. And I just
know she deserves to see someone's real face when she's coming over to sleep with you behind your sister's back when her sister's
All right, girl, calm. I step on the table and I'm like, calm down. Oh my god, like. Do I have to be the mom now? Like, is that what this has come to? We were about to have an important conversation about family being civilized and everything. Like, look at how scared Tony is. Look at her in the corner.
No.
You don't want her to feel like, look at the cats. They're under the thingies.
I don't want them to be scared, but sis. Did you go over to Bethany's house and put the moves on her?
Do you see this? Pebble, what am I supposed to do? Like, I go out on a limb, put myself in danger to literally find out information that I'm trying to share, and all of a sudden I'm trying to get with her sloppy seconds? Disgusting.
Ain't nothing sloppy about Bethany. You take that back right now.
I won't.
I'm gonna put the syrup in your hair, sis. And I know you're putting sticky stuff in your hair.
You
putting
just
the fork closer and closer.
You want to know what's going to happen if you do that? Guess who's going to go back and tell Bethany all of the things about you that you don't want her to know?
Is this your pillow talk? You go to sleep with my ex, you talk shit about me?
Every
Is that
time
your
you say
hobby?
that, I want to vomit even more. Gross.
Why are you vomiting?
Oh my god,
Why are you
this starting again.
Why would you make that face? I mean,
all right.
She starts crying. I grab her by the shoulders and I'm like, look, I have no interest in your ex-girlfriend. I went because I wanted to support you. And here's what she said. She said that you're scary and you're clingy and you make her uncomfortable. And it's because you act like this. So look, I think that there is something weird going on, but in order to get to the bottom of it, you gotta chill, sis. You gotta show her love by restraint. Get it? Restraint.
I do think you need to give her space.
But I was giving her so much space, and then you guys were like, she sent a note. Why would she come here and give Protoni a note?
I agree.
If she wanted to, I was
totally
giving
agree.
her space. She's got my head in a fucking
No, listen, hold on, hold on.
Hold
on. Not space, like, don't interact with her. I'm saying, like, look.
Whoa.
I got to sit next to her and talk for, like, a half hour, right? And you know why that
Rub it
was?
in my face, sis.
It was because I'm shaking her shoulder. She needed a friend, not someone to worship the ground she walks on. So you gotta give her space romantically to get closer to her as a friend.
I'm so tired.
And maybe that would be the good ending. You know, maybe she's not the right one for you.
Well, she's the best one. I want the best one.
If you really love her, then you're gonna want to be next to her no matter what.
Man, I gave up on her. I let her have Francesca. I want her to be happy, and I let her have her choice. And she's happy with Francesca, and I was gonna leave it. I was gonna leave it alone until all this shit happened. She came to our shop and left a note. So I'm just trying to do what she wants. I leave her alone if she wants. I come to her rescue if she wants. I'm here, and now she calls me fucking creepy.
I'm looking at Pebble and I'm like, I don't understand why I'm not getting. Can you explain this? Because I'm clearly not getting through to her.
I'm leaving her alone, sis. I'm not gonna bother Bethany.
I didn't say leave her
anymore.
alone. I specifically just said you gotta chill. You gotta be cool.
What's cooler than being cool?
Ice cold.
I'm gonna be ice cold, sis. I'm not even gonna look at her.
I do think it would be healthier if, you know, you tried to move on from trying to get into a romantic relationship with her. Because as far as we can tell, you know, there's something unhealthy going on with Francesca, but it doesn't mean that she would want to be with you if she wasn't with Francesca.
Or maybe she would, but it's not gonna hurt to just, like, not annoy her.
Oh, could I be around her and not annoy her? I'm just gonna leave her. I'm just gonna.
I think it's healthier if you just try to, like, be
her.
comfortable with yourself on your own for a while. I mean, with your family and stuff and your friends. You have a good support system. Look at the waffles we made you. That's love. I mean, Petoni made them, but, like, you know what I mean. We asked her to do it.
Honestly, that's better advice than mine, so take hers.
And you know what? Because we love you, we're gonna go make sure that Francesca gets what she deserves. Because, like,
we'll
screw
just
that girl anyway.
No, leave her alone.
Leave Francesca alone?
Bethany loves that little cloven-footed freak bitch. Just let him be.
Are you sure? Because we could think of so many other good pranks to do.
God, and I want to burn her house down so bad too, sis, but we should just let her live. Like a little butterfly.
Can we at least ruin her little cobbler club?
Oh yeah, socially I do want to destroy her, yeah, but like physically in her house and shit, we'll leave that alone.
Okay. Fair.
Okay,
Totally fair.
then let's try to give, you know, some space to their relationship. But, like, I kind of want to know what's gonna happen with the nightcap situation that we messed up with. But whatever, let's just keep our eye out for some rumors and some good stories. But yeah, let's focus on social status destruction. That sounds reasonable.
I mean, Pebble, she hates me, not you. She always had a soft spot or a blind spot or something for you, so I don't worry.
Didn't she say something mean about me? No, I'm pretty sure she said something mean too.
Oh, then forget her.
Mm-mm.
But
just, okay. I
waffles.
give her back. I feed her some waffles.
Eat the waffles.
It's a new day tomorrow, guys. It's a new day today. It's actually a day today.
Just, salt the waffles with your tears. It's okay.
Salty and sweet. Interesting combination. We should write that down. Maybe there's something there.
We should start serving waffles at our shop.
I I didn't know we could
precariously close to feet for food, but
Does kind of look like treads.
Waffle. We should make some shoes that have waffle making like shape on the bottom and call them waffle stompers.
I did hear someone say winter is coming. We could use them to cross the snows.
What's snow?
Maybe it's on its way. Who knows?
The winter of my heart, and I'm face down in the waffles. I think this is a lost day for Poldara.
Yeah, I think the rest of the day is spent pretty much just like in pints of ice cream or crying. And we're just, trying to take care of her.
Yeah.
Thanks, Neal.
Why was feel good show like this is like the most depressing show.
Yeah, I know. What happened?
But it was light and feel good for a long time.
Yeah, it was.
Now it's about letting go. It's about moving on. It's about rebuilding who you are. Outside of the light and the pillar and the strength and the scaffolding that you once used to structure your life.
Even the Gilmore Girls had hard moments, okay?
True.
Who were they?
You thought Grandpa was gonna die? They telegraphed it all episode and they didn't? Ugh. Hard.
Nick and Jess broke up at one point.
Mm-hmm. They did, yeah. Well, on these happy notes, we'll be back.
I do want to specify that, like, after the waffle ritual, I'm gonna bring out the 3 red rocks too, so that we can feel better.
Oh, that'll make her feel better.
Immediately feel better.
Yeah, it's a better way to, and like we're gonna have our cats, we're gonna have our rocks, our bellies full of like waffles. Like the investigation hat is probably done, but it's Boldara sized, so I guess she gets the hat.
Protoni made 4 of them. We're all wearing them, and for the cats too.
Oh
and we're
my
cuddle.
Yeah.
Proton will put the hat on your head, Boldara, and say, Big Sis, I made you this investigator's hat. Not because you told me to. Not because you all insisted that I make this hat while you run around doing wacky hijinks and breaking into people's houses, which none of my business. But I did it so you could help find yourself. So you could figure out what's going on. And, ever since I've known you, you've been the strongest person I've known, but you've also been going through the hardest part of anyone's life. And I think you just need to take the muscles of your arms and make the muscles of your heart stronger. And maybe this hat will help you find your courage to do so.
Protonius, that's beautiful, sis. That's... okay. And I squeeze her into the hard leather of my empty, but once again worn boulder holder. Noogie.
Thanks. That was uncomfortable. But thanks. It was a good uncomfortable, not a bad uncomfortable.
Can't hear you because you squashed it into my pecs. Is Protoni's hair pink? Did we ever accomplish that?
Yes.
This
This is
glorious.
There. That is Proton.
Yay.
All right.
She's so cute.
And with that, I think we're done.
Good
I think we're done
episode
for this week.
Yeah, now it's satisfactory. Good ending.
It'll be a new tomorrow, sisters.
We'll come back.
You know what?
Yep, sorry. Go ahead. Nope. Go ahead.
That relationship was toxic,
I agree.
Just got this new name rattling around in my head now. Till next time.
Maybe you and Tiffany are meant to be.
Yeah.
This kind of revenge dating hasn't even been pioneered yet. I am ready to trailblaze.
Oh, no.
Just dating all of her exes, one after another. Wow.
Oh my god. But
It's
yeah,
how Scott Pilgrim should have done it if he were more aggressive and handsome.
like honestly, that was like a good intervention. Like there was something unhealthy about that Francesca obsession.
I'd say waffles essential for an intervention.
Not that Francesca, I mean Bethany, but yeah. Still something weird about the nightcap, though. I'm not over it. I want to know what's gonna happen.
Well, maybe we'll find out next session.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. We might.
Okay. Well, that is it. Does anyone have any shout outs before we go home for the night?
Acquisitions Incorporated Season 2 is still being released on YouTube on the Penny Arcade channel. And I've been trying to stream after each one and do like an AMA, and I've done that once. And there are 3 episodes. So I'm not doing a great job of that, but I'm trying. So if you want to see that, click follow on my channel or follow social media or something, and I'll do my best.
Mm-hmm.
And also, if you like musicals and you live in Lake Oswego, Oregon, come see Weird Romance at Lakewood Theater on the 20th and 21st of October.
All right. I got a campaign that's starting tomorrow at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern. It's like midnight Europe time. It is the third season of third chapter of Rise of Drekis, sequel to Tombs of Scoria. That'll be fun. We got 4 players, recognizable faces, and then the second chapter starts next week because we're doing them out of order for funsies, scheduling reasons. What
That's
about you,
exciting.
Jen? What about you, Rachel?
I'm just trying to stream like once per week, roughly, for like 3 hours at like random times and days. So like definitely gonna grow my channel this way. And I'm mostly playing Baldur's Gate obsessively right now. Role playing original thief Abigail. That's like basically my life, so you can follow me if you wanna check that out. Don't know when, don't know how, but it'll certainly happen.
Well, it's important to follow.
Yeah, that's why.
I am doing GeoGuessr. I leave Tuesday, and I think it's Friday and Saturdays when the tournament airs. The GeoGuessr World Cup. If you've never seen GeoGuessr, it is some of the most impressive recall demonstrations I've ever seen. They'll pick a point on the Google map and show 2 different players, and those players have to guess where it is. The closer one gets the more points. And you will not believe how quickly people can figure out your location. I had to, for the announcement, like be like, hey guys, see if you can figure out where I am. Like less than 90 seconds. This was on Twitter and somebody knew where I was. Jeez. So a little terrifying. It's gonna be fun. Join me, and you'll definitely know where we are throughout the entire event. So that's Friday and Saturday next week.
All right. Well, that's it, everyone. Catch you next week.
Thanks.